And that's a TV screen. How long did it take you to get all this like this?
Probably 2 years.
I'm still say he's constantly changing it.
Okay.
Yeah. I come in here, there's something new.
Well, people are always getting rid of stuff that's perfectly good, like couches and stuff. And I'm like, I got room for one more couch. I could probably do that.
And they all just go out here.
Yeah.
Oh. And you have a band, obviously. Someone has a band.
Oh yeah, I think I have 2 bands.
You gotta
right
tell
now.
her the name of the one that I love the most.
Monkey Robot War. It is a great name.
Monkey Robot Wars. Oh, there it is right there.
Unfortunately, Monkey Robot War is no more.
Why?
Pandemic. It didn't end.
Damn.
Hold on. Okay.
Monkey Robot War.
I'm just gonna do high. It seemed to freak out when I did maximum.
He was like, it looks
Okay.
like Belly, and I was like, oh, however do you want it?
I don't know what that is.
The movie Belly? You ever seen it? It's by Hype Williams. So he's like, he was known for like music videos back in the day, and then he made this movie that DMX and Nas starred in.
Okay.
Method Man was in there. A man from Menace to Society that played Kane. Man, there's quite a few actors in there that got like their
What's
starts.
it called?
Belly.
Belly. Is it funny? Is it scary?
Well,
What's
I
it
mean,
supposed to be scary? Was
no,
it
it's
scary?
not. It's not scary at all. It's a hip hop movie that's supposed to be like very serious, and the
Well, hip hop
writing.
movie makes me think that it's not serious.
No, there's no hip hop in it. There was the director.
Okay.
It's supposed to be on some gangster shit.
Okay.
But like somewhere in the writing, man, I think the motherfucker got high and forgot what he's writing about, and then it took like this whole twisted turn.
That'll happen.
Yeah. So.
That'll happen.
Man,
All I
good
remember
drugs, man.
about Belly was I wasn't supposed to watch it, so I watched it in like 10-minute increments while my parents were gone. So I have no idea what happened.
Wow.
But I'm
You're
pretty
like,
sure it
gonna
was a
watch
bad
this, though.
influence.
That's funny.
I say definitely do it. It's I would love to hear to have some dialogue about the movie after you watch.
Okay.
Maybe in 10-minute increments too.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
God.
gotta watch it in 10-minute increments.
sounds
it's
like-
the only way. But it's visually very stunning. It's like it'll be a blue scene, and everything's blue. All the people are blue. The background's blue. The foreground's blue.
Huh.
It was a weird choice.
I just watched Training Day today, and I was reminded why it's still my favorite movie.
That's a good one.
It is so violent. Like Lonzo is by far the scariest person ever.
Alonzo.
The dude, the character that Denzel played.
Okay, I was like Alonzo. I thought his name was Denzel.
Yeah, Lonzo.
Denzel Washington.
Yes.
The same man.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome. So what
Yeah,
we're gonna
thank
do?
you for doing this, first of all.
You're welcome. I don't know what I'm doing yet. So I'm a
Exactly.
little
That's the best part
nervous.
about it, man.
Okay.
You didn't tell her anything?
No,
Nope.
literally
Could've told
zero
you. Oh my
context. I
God.
have no context. I didn't even know I was coming to your house.
Oh, you.
I was like, where am I going? And then like Leslie, I'm like, oh, hey.
Hey, let's.
Hey.
What are you doing here, Leslie?
God, I left the pot. So yeah, Nate started this, and he started off with his mother and father doing these interviews, and then he asked me to do an interview. And next thing you know, it's like, yo, why don't you set some more people up? And I love you and Fable, so I was like, yo, let's start with these two.
Yep. Getting
and-
some life stories down.
Okay, I
That's
love
what
it.
I want.
All right.
Also, he had the Library of Congress. Tell me a little bit about Library of Congress. They were doing it for like normal.
I think they're still doing it, where you call them up
yes,
and you.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, you just tell your story into what I imagine is a huge voicemail system, which is pretty cool. And then they just log it all in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I mean, I'm sure they have some nefarious reason for doing all of it, putting it into like a big
Maybe
computer.
it's just good. Maybe it's just a good reason.
You know, that's what I hope.
Maybe it's just a good reason.
It's like the code was alive.
Yeah, exactly.
So welcome. You want to kick off a question first, or you want me to kick off a question first?
Do I need to sit up close to this, or am I good like right
The
here?
closer you are, the better, probably. But
okay.
it doesn't. It'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine where you were. Just be comfortable.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. I made up some questions.
Okay.
Did you move around a lot when you were a kid?
No.
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 So, can you take us through your bedroom growing up? Like, can you describe what it was like?
That made you cheese. Oh my god. It was all pink, wasn't it?
It wasn't all pink. No, it was not. I'm trying to
Posters.
think. I feel like... Well, I had a few different, like, my room transitioned a lot when I was a kid, like, but mostly in the same house. And I didn't have like my own room at my dad's house. So I'm thinking of my mom's house. And at first, the earliest room, I don't remember a ton from my childhood either. The earliest room I can remember, I want to say it was like a Tweety Bird Sylvester situation. My mom's a really good artist,
Okay,
and
so
she's really good at drawing, and so she like drew this whole scene out for me like on my bedroom walls, and that was really cool.
That's dope as fuck.
It was really cool. And then I definitely had like Christina Aguilera posters and Britney Spears posters in there.
Was those the first ones?
I think I want to say Christina Aguilera was the first one. Or Britney, I don't know.
Just so you don't feel alone, I'm pretty sure I had a Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, I mean, I would
too.
still, like, I just heard some of her music, like, last year, and I was like, this shit still slaps.
Yeah.
Like, I love Christina Aguilera.
She did nothing wrong.
Nothing, in my opinion.
I like when she did the Addams Family song. That was by far my favorite Christina Aguilera song, which is
I don't
weird.
even know what you're talking
I don't know what you're talking about either.
They came over to Addams Family cartoon during COVID, and she did like the soundtrack.
Oh, like recently?
Yeah, that was like my favorite song of hers ever.
Wow.
I haven't heard from her in a long time.
Yeah.
So you said you had a spot at your dad's, but you had to share.
I shared it. Yep. So there was we had bunk beds in there. It was like it was small. It was a small room. There was bunk beds. I don't remember like a lot of color or anything else really.
What color
in
was the
there.
house?
The house was brick. I want to say it was like a light brown brick.
Okay.
You said that like it was brick and red.
Yeah.
Bread.
It was bread.
It was brick.
Made of bread.
It was like a light brown brick.
So you grew up in a gingerbread house.
Yes. Yep. And then my mom's house was like gray and had a green roof. Wow, really pulling my memory out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord, haven't worked it.
That's to spark it. That's to spark your memory.
All right.
So what would you say your parents were like? Were they ever together while you were, that you can remember?
No, thank the Lord above. They were not. My mom is a gem. Jen is a gem. Mm-hmm. What would I say? She's like, my mom is like the life of the party. She loves to be like what everyone else is doing. She wants to be doing it with you.
She is a party.
She is a party. She is like a ride or die party. Like she'll show up like just hanging on by the wheels, but she's like gonna show up.
Yep.
That's my mom. She's great. She will. I could call her right now and be like, I need you to bring this up to me. She's like, bet. All right, I'll bring it up right now. But then when she got here, she would like have something to say about the fact that she had to bring it up. She'd be like, but look at me being a great mom, bringing this for you. I was like, you're right, mom. You're right.
It comes
You're the
with
best.
extra credit.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. Of course. And my dad wasn't really around a lot. I went over to his house when I was younger, till I was like 10 or 11, and then stopped. But he was. All I remember from my childhood was he wasn't really around. Like, he worked a lot. I was at my grandma's house a lot when I was over there. But now looking back, it's interesting, like, when you're an adult and you look back on your parents and you, like, just look at the things that they did. And I think for me, it's been a lot of, like, they just did the best that they could when they were there. And it wasn't very great, but also, like, their upbringings weren't very great. Yeah. Right. And so I just try to look at that and try to give a little bit more grace. And that's taken a lot. That's not easy and sometimes I still don't. Sometimes I'm like, you should have had it figured out and done better.
You know what I've been realizing lately is that I keep waiting, like I'm 43 now, and I keep waiting for this moment where I have this thought of, oh, I'm a grown-up. This is a grown-up thing. I'm now a grown-up. All these childish things are behind me. Mm-hmm. But it hasn't switched at all. I don't think it's changed since I've been 16 years old. I don't feel a day older or more intelligent.
I'm still a kid, like, especially when it comes to like jokes, right? Yeah. Like, if it's a joke, I'm just like, man, that shit was funny, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's kind of harsh, but I'm like, oh, you gotta get them back. Yeah. That's the one thing. You gotta retaliate.
Right. I feel like the more that you can just do that though, and like lean into. Someone was telling me recently, like, my life's had these wild fucking turns, and like So I was just like, this has to be a joke. Like, this can't be real life. And this woman was just like, honestly, just treat it as such because it's gotta be like this. You're right. This has gotta be a joke. And I'm just like, all right. It's a lot. It makes life a lot easier to swallow when you're just like, well, fuck, what are we gonna do about it?
So let me throw this at you. This is something that I've been contemplating. I think that all of us live in each other's lives, right? And we also, like, in order for you to become a God, right, created in His image or whatever, in order for you to become a God, you have to live all these separate lives, right? And then eventually you get to rule like your own planet and universe and solar system, right? Kind of like what you're doing right now, right? With your body, like you are. There's the white blood cells, red blood cells. There's hemoglobin. There's all these different things that are in your body. I feel like all of us we have to learn each of the steps. So like, man, it's like, do I ever grow up, or are you still a kid? Are you still like, we have all these years that we are, and each one is like, it's longer. Like, so like, let's say like somebody growing up in a country. They don't experience like the fast-paced living of somebody like in New York, right? All these different cars that are passing. It's like, man, you have to live in each one of these things, and it's kind of weird of me explaining it now out loud.
I'm like, I'm a little bit confused. I don't think I fully.
I'm still excited to hear.
I'm gonna narrow it down one of these days.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry for wasting everybody's time.
Sorry. I think I got. Have you guys noticed this? This I do notice is about every 10 years or so, I feel like I have changed into a different type of, not entirely different type of person, but I'll go from being terrible at work to being real good at work, or being terrible at relationships to being pretty, maybe I'm just improving.
I think you're just improving. I think that's just life. Like, that's good. Like, every 10 years where you're like, damn, I've gotten a lot better.
I finally get it.
Right. Yep. And then, like, this whole other pile of shit gets handed on your lap, and you're like, well, I don't get this anymore. Yeah. But I got those other things.
I'll start here, and I got 10 years to figure it out.
It's the good increments. 10-year increments.
Exactly.
So I got a question for you. What is Nikaville?
God. It's what you call Fatherville.
Wait, is Fatherville your hometown?
Fatherville is where I grew up. And it's like halfway between Grand Rapids and Detroit. And when Foster and Marcel and I used to go to Detroit for the retort, every time we drive by, Foster would be like, hey, it's Nikaville. And anytime now, just still snaps a picture of the fucking exit. I'm like, first of all, not a very creative name. Not at all. Not even a little bit. And second, it's not doing shit. It's the same racist ass place that it was when I lived there. It ain't gotten any better. That's pretty much Fremont. It. Sounds like where?
It sounds like Fremont, where I grew up.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically Fowlerville, but we had Gerber baby food. That was it.
You said a Gerber baby?
Gerber baby food. That is what Fremont is put on the map for. Yeah. That's where all the baby food comes from.
That's where everybody in Fremont works. It's a gas station, and then it's Gerber.
Yeah, no joke. There's Gerber Memorial Hospital. There's Gerber Insurance.
It's Gerber Town.
Okay.
It's Gerber Town.
Damn. Yeah, so Fatherville, Nikaville, as you like to call it, was a very white and rural place that I don't go back to anymore. I drive by, do a nice little wave, keep my eyes going.
Yeah.
I remember you and we had this conversation about your friends. They were like, yo, why aren't you coming to the class reunion? Like, they kept trying to pressure you. Why don't you put that story, immortalize that so people know about that situation?
Yeah. So, Fatherville is very white. It's very country. It's right next to Howell, which is like where the KKK is like
cool.
rampant and still hanging out and stuff. So, being black in that space was very uncomfortable. And it was a lot of my whole life of like code switching and not realizing that I was acting in specific ways or behaving certain ways just because it was like a level of security and safety around me that I needed to put up myself because it was such an unsafe environment. Like things like we watched the movie Roots, and like our class had it like banned because they like were making so many references to the movies and like calling people Kunta Kinte and just this fucking wild shit that like now that I look back at it, I'm like, holy fuck, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Like I cannot believe that people just like did that. And I was like in that space, just moving around so that was my high school experience. It was not great. I mean, called the N-word so many times, just like all these microaggressions and flat out aggressions toward me. And so stepping away from that, I went to Grand Valley, and still a pretty white space, but a little bit more diverse, and then moved to Grand Rapids after that. And it wasn't until I was probably telling Marcel, honestly, about the story, and just like talking about all this fucked up shit in high school, and he was like, that sounds like a terrible place. Like, what in the world? And so, like, just having someone else, like, I don't know, validate it and be like, oh, wow, that was really... God, no wonder I have this, like, feeling in my stomach when I get there. Like, I hate being there. And so, fast
no
forward...
urge to go back.
Right, no. Zero urge to go back. Zero urge to, like, have any sort of connection with anyone there. I'm like, I'm good. And I have 3 best friends from high school that we're still best friends. But, like, outside of that, it's, like, a hard pass. And so, it was, like, class reunion time. And I think it was our 10 years. I don't know what year it was. 5 or 10. And 10. Probably, was it 10 years?
Yep.
Okay. And so it was our 10 year. You're right. And my friends were like, we're going to do this. Like, we're going to go. And I'm just like, man, I don't think I want to go to that. Like, I just don't think that sounds like
what would I gain from
a fun time for me.
Yeah.
And so I had to like, and they were just like so confused. They're like, what do you mean? Why? And so I had to, it was like the first time that I had to sit down with them and be like, y'all, we had a different high school experience. Like, this is what I went through. This is the fucked up shit that happened to me. This is what was said to me. This is what it was like. And this is what it was like for y'all. And I don't want to go back to that. Like, I don't want to do that again. And there was some tears that were shed that were a little bit uncomfortable by one of my friends. And then she was like, all right, after like some tears were shed, and she was like, this isn't about me. I'm like, you're right, it's not. So stop crying. Like, this isn't anything about you. It's about me.
To cry.
And so just like explaining what it was like for me, I think is something that I've had to do more. I feel like as I've gotten older and I've gotten like more, I don't know, just experience more things, and people are, when I share that or when I tell people that, then they can no longer say like, I didn't know. They're no longer people like, what do you mean? Why was it a terrible spot? I'm like, well, because I told you all the terrible things.
Remember the Titans when Sunshine? He was like, I'm sorry, man, I didn't know. What do you mean you didn't know? I fucking told you.
You ain't want to know.
I fucking told you.
Yup. That's my favorite movie.
Man,
remember that's my favorite movie? Yup.
Man, that's a question we can mark off. I had it on there.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans is my all-time favorite movie.
Nice.
What?
So I guess it's needless to say, but people of color, were you it?
It was me. There was one. I think in my. I think there was one other black girl who was there. She was older than me. And then there was also like a lot of migrant workers who like came in and out of town. So like in the beginning of the year, there was a lot more of like Hispanic and Mexican folks who were there, but it was mostly because their families came into work and then they would leave.
Right, farm community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, so less than like 5, for sure.
Oh my God! Yeah, we had Walter and Dimitri and Demont.
And the whole school.
That was it.
It was wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Diaz came in for a little while and he left. He saw that. He was like, this ain't for me. And he got out of there.
Man, I was on the swim team, and we'd go all the way up to Fremont. But then we'd go to Wayland and all that. And me being the black diver as well as the black swimmer, and like there only being like 2 black dudes and 2 Hispanic dudes. On a small ass team. Like at first when we started out, there was 1 black dude, one Hispanic dude, and then the team grew by the time our senior year. So then it was like maybe like I think there was like 5 people of color. Still tough. And then you hear shit all the time. And now would I change it? No, because that shit made me tough as fuck. And also I could roast with the best of them. So
yeah, that's right. You can't.
You put me in the front seat with him. I bet I whoop that ass, man. So, and maybe that's like a form of privilege that I learned, or I just got tough and sharpened to turn into that. But was that shit traumatic? Fuck yeah, it was traumatic.
So traumatic.
Man, like even when I go to spaces now and some shit is happening, man, I'm like, yo, man, like this shit ain't gonna fly, man, and like. We can step outside if it goes past this. Why don't we just step outside?
Yeah.
So.
I hate it, you guys.
Man,
you.
Shit happens, man. But and then some shit shouldn't happen, man. Mm-hmm. So where did you and I first meet?
Probably at the Retort.
I know the answer. I was just asking.
Yeah. At the Retort. Yeah, I would say at the Retort. I think it was I think it might have been your birthday, or right around there, or maybe it was like maybe your birthday was the first time that I came to Duke's after.
Okay, that shit gets wild.
Ugh.
Yeah. Might not want that recorded.
Oh no, this shit.
It's good times.
I like to say this. For anybody that's like a cancel culture, all that shit, I'm like, you know what, man? That's how I was feeling at the time. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm a different person than I was.
I'm growing. I've changed.
I wouldn't do that now.
Yeah,
but I did that then, and I can't.
Back in the day, man, I fucked up on a lot of things, but there are certain things that I did not, and when I found out that some of my guy friends did, I'm like, man, that's fucked up. I never went that far.
Yeah.
Or some of the female friends that I have, and like I'm just like, man, I never did that shit like that. And like, but I realized like me judging helps nobody, right?
Yeah, it truly doesn't.
And where the fuck does redemption and rehabilitation come into effect? Like at some point. Can nobody ever be forgiven for the shit that they done when they were younger? Because if that's the case, man, America should be fucking burned alive.
Yeah, and it's getting even harder for kids because there's everything's recorded.
Right.
I don't know how you live something down that's on YouTube and then you get it off there and it just pops up 100 other places.
I think there's always space for redemption and rehab in that journey. I think it's also like when the people, whoever were wronged, like say, what that looks like in their eyes. I think that means a lot. And I think prioritizing that and also realizing that not everyone's going to forgive it, and that's okay. Like, everyone doesn't have to, right? If you did some fucked up shit, some people, I feel like you always say, like, you have a right to say whatever you want, but you also got a right to get hit in the fucking face.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like that's one of the things that you've always said that I've always stuck in my head, which is, like, you can do whatever you want to do.
You can do whatever.
Yeah, but, like, you might get hit in the face.
You got to be ready for those consequences.
Yeah, there will be consequences.
Somebody is, like, waiting to, like, Hulk Hogan this bitch here and then just fire on you.
Right.
And they going to follow through.
And you might deserve it. And, like, that's okay.
And I will tell you this, man, like, until you've ever been to a fight, you don't know what the fuck you did wrong, or if you didn't do nothing wrong. And then all of a sudden, that moment where your fucking jaw is like, when your jaw hits behind your shoulder, all of a sudden you're like, oh, my bad, bro.
Okay.
I learned.
Have you ever been in a fist fight?
I've never been in a fist fight. I am like I'm a big... When I'm drinking, when I used to drink back in my day, I was a big shit talker. Yes. Always. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite pastimes. And especially when I've got some drinks in me, I will. I'll say anything to anyone. Yeah, and I managed to not. There's been a few times where I feel like Marcel has had to be like, you need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because like I'm gonna have to get in a fight. Because I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And like I can hear it happening, but I'm just like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I know that if I ever get in a fight, it will be because Leslie did something. I know it won't be me.
Yeah.
It'll be me defending her or her defending herself.
I think that the last time you drank that I remember, we were it was me, you, Amy, Super Dre, Lady Ace, Johanna Jokes,
party,
DJ Comp, and you gave you a ride home.
You guys sure did give me a ride home and brought me home. You guys
lived on more steeper stairs than the Black House had.
Yep, they were the worst stairs. Fam. I stomped. Oh, yeah.
Fam, you almost needed like a rope to get up these stairs.
So
like
steep. They were so
That is not good
steep.
for drinking.
Oh, no.
And I got home and I was wild.
Yeah.
I was screaming. I was like, Marcel, get up. And he was like, if you don't get the fuck out of my face. And Foster and Amy are saying, like, we should go. Like, this girl is drunk. I woke up on the couch. Like, oh man.
But it
was a Sunday. I was like, I'm just going to hang out with Drake for a little bit.
I come into the party. I'm like a little bit late. I come to the party and first off, we get free booze because of our friend Super Dre, and then it's Comp's party, so there's more free booze, and then like they just decide to start buying bottles. So like all these beautiful women, like Amy buys a bottle, Super Dre buys a bottle, Lady A's buys a bottle, and then I'm just like, guys, it is Sunday and we have
it was Sunday at like 4 p.m.
I think no, it was earlier than that. I think it was like Sunday at like
that was probably when I blacked out right about 4 p.m.
Man. So, but I mean, like, you know, I love my buddy Fable, and like he doesn't drink anymore either. But one of the funniest stories ever for him drinking, in my eyes, is one night we went out after the retort, and I got him an Uber. He was like, man, I can't stay no longer, man. I'm just gonna go home, right? We got a little tipsy, you know. We had some shots. It's Duke's.
Yeah,
it's a Monday. It's in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah,
right.
I give it this right. I was like, bro, don't worry, bro. I got your Uber. Just hand it home. He was like, cool. I get a call at about 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
It was about 6 or 6:30 from me.
I wake up from. It was repeated calls. I wake up. I'm like, God, who wants me at 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah, this can't be good.
It's Nika like, where's Fable? Is he at your house? I'm like, no, I paid for him to have an Uber. And I was like, let me just check. This shit is $40, man.
Where did he go?
He went all the way home to the west side, and then the dude circled around and then brought him to the hospital. And you know the scene like in all the movies. I always imagine this when somebody gets shot and you're like, when the dude's undercover and he has to help a person out that got shot and they just throw him out like help, and then they pull off.
I don't want any more part of
that. That had to be what he did, because this man sleeps when he is drunk. Yeah. Like he does not move.
Oh, you think he just fell asleep?
Oh, he passed out.
He knocked out. That's it.
He passed out in the back of the Uber. I was so fucking mad. I'm calling Foster like, where in the fuck is he at? And Foster's like, I'll put him in the Uber. I don't know. And I'm like, Foster, where is he at?
So once I Googled the last thing, and I was like, it says he's at the hospital.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't.
I said, good.
That's the best place for him.
It's a great place for him right now.
So it's better than the jail.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know, that's man. He is one of my best friends, and he is not that person anymore. So like you know.
Praise Jesus.
Yeah. So mad shout out to that guy, man. Hit me with another question, Nate.
Speaking of Fable, how did you meet him, and did you fall in love with him because of that sweet ass nickname?
No.
It's a two-parter.
I met Marcel. I feel really weird calling him Fable. Mm-hmm. I met Marcel at the retort. I was not. I still wouldn't describe myself as an avid poetry fan. I don't frequent open mics, but my friend and I were at Stella's in the front, and she was like, "Let's go to this open mic in the back." And I was like, "The fuck am I going to a mic for?" Nah, I'm good. And she was like, "Just come with me." I was like, "I don't want to go to that. It's Monday. I need to go to sleep. Like y'all are wild." And she was like, "Just come." And I was like, "Okay." So we roll in the back, and like immediately I'm greeted with a tequila shot, and I was like, okay, this place looks like fun.
It is.
And then I went back a few weeks in a row, but I never really talked to Marcel. He was like, he would always just like walk by me and like set a tequila shot down and then like walk away. And I was like, okay, this guy is fucking weird.
Do you think that was his move?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, because he was handing out a lot of tequila shots.
Okay.
But he might say it was his move, but I don't know.
He was nervous to talk to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I also, like, give off a pretty bitchy vibe at all times. I really try. It's, like, something that I strive for.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that.
So people leave me alone. And so I'm sure with his little quiet self.
Fatherville probably built that up.
It did. It built up a heart exterior. Just always in the corner, like, And then one night after, we went to Duke's. I think.
I invited y'all.
Yeah.
And then he invited y'all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like both of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like me and a girlfriend, and I was like, sure, I guess let's go. Like, these guys seem wild. Let's go hang out. Yeah. And then it was a lot of Mondays after that. Marcel was not single when I met him. So we worked through some trials and tribulation.
I don't remember him talking about that.
I wasn't sure if he was, but I'm gonna be honest. That was the truth. That was our truth at that point. And then he went on tour, like that same summer, and lots of. Oh, we really sunk it in there that first.
So
that
you
first
and I
summer.
both went out to visit him on that first tour. I call it the last leg. Had I known what I know now, I would have just quit my job and just went with him on tour. I should have just done that.
Yeah.
But you know, like the thing that I always laugh at, he brought our buddy Andre Skizis, who did not have a driver's license at the time, and just went on tour with Fable, who was going around and performing. So, like, when you perform, you know how tired and exacerbated you get.
Then he had to go and drive himself.
Driving himself everywhere.
And his friend.
And he hates driving. Like, Marcel does not like to drive.
He's the worst driver
scared.
on the planet, bro. Like, this man had a Fiat.
It's a small car.
The Fiat was as big as this coffee table. And this man would take about 2.5 minutes to turn the corner. Just this slow, bro. Just like.
But now with his big ass Jeep,
like
you
it's
never would have
cautious.
known. But he's a cautious driver. He is a very cautious driver. Whenever I'm high and in the car with him, I always feel safe. So that's good.
I don't. I always feel like.
Foster is not a fucking cautious driver.
I am like, man, bro. I'm like, man, that turtle is going to hit us with a shell. And we are going to go all over the road, bro.
Sometimes when we're merging, that's really the only time I feel that. Yeah. I'm just like, we gotta go a little faster, we gotta go a little faster, we gotta go a little faster. But other than that, I feel mostly really safe when he's driving.
I would not let him drive to Detroit when we would go. I'd just be like, no, I'll just drive your vehicle. Or I'll just drive.
Yeah.
We'll risk it in my car as opposed to let you drive.
And we did risk it in that car.
Man, that car made it happen though.
It was so cold. I remember they would like just chain smoke the whole fucking way down there.
No, I wasn't just chain smoking.
Marcel was chain smoking.
Yeah.
And then by proxy, everyone around Marcel chain smoked when Marcel smoked. And there would be times, it was like dead of winter, and they would have those fucking windows down, and I'd be in the back seat like covering with Foster's like old clothes. In the back like trying to warm up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man, that's crazy. So, man, you and him both are sober. He and I both stopped smoking cigarettes. Well, he stopped smoking cigarettes too. Mm-hmm. All three of us stopped smoking cigarettes. Like, man, when I say this, like, that dude he's life-changing, right? You are life-changing. Man, I'm about to start tearing up.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm trying to hold it back.
On,
there's so many magical things that you two have done individually and as a couple. One, I remember when I came over to your house and asked you to be Josie's godparents, and how happy you both were. It was amazing. Favorite gift of all time is what you guys did for Josie. Man, won't you tell her? That way I can stop crying. Won't you tell her?
Yes, I will.
I'm out here being a little bitch.
It's okay. It's okay to express emotion,
It's okay.
Foster.
Yes, it is.
It's okay for you.
It's actually extremely healthy.
It's very great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Josie, God baby. So I have terminal breast cancer, which is fucking wild to say out loud as 29 years old. So that means I'm not going to be around forever. No one will be, but my timeline has been cut very short. And so when thinking about what to get Josie for her birthday, it was her one. I'm like, this girl's not going to remember 1 year old. She's going to have 7,000 presents, all the things in the world.
It was actually 6,999.
It was so many. And so I've been thinking, I've been toying around with the idea of like some sort of like savings account or some sort of like money for her. Like that's because that you can always use money, right? It's always going to be helpful. It's not as fun to open, but it's always something that's going to be helpful. But my idea,
really
right? When you're one, not as fun,
gift,
but like when you're anytime over that, it's a great time.
Yeah.
And so I had the idea to start like an adventure fund for Josie, and so every month we just put a little money in it, and then when she's 18, she'll have this sort of lump sum that I hope that she'll go and do something really amazing with. So I was like, I wrote her a card to open on her 18th birthday. I wrote Foster and Amy a card to sort of explain the idea, and then we got her this book about collecting memories, and Marcel wrote something in there for her. And so the idea is that when she's 18, she opens this letter from me, who hopefully I'll be around or be in her life or she'll remember me. But if she doesn't, then it's this ode to sort of traveling, and I hope that she has this amazing experience in time, because traveling is the one thing that I feel like is so important and necessary, and to just be able to be like, just go and have a fucking trip and have a fun time sounded like such a cool gift to give her.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about like maybe a map of places that you went to and be like, yo, what I found in this place, hopefully you do as well? Like
I love that idea. I haven't. I was really just like, I wonder what she'll want to do, or maybe she'll like, her and Stella will go on this like epic road trip, or like they'll, I don't know. I had so many ideas, and I was like, I don't want to put anything on like an expectation of what she should do, because she could just be like, maybe I want to go camp for, I don't know, a whole month somewhere.
She will definitely want to go camp.
Right. She's gonna, or maybe she's like, no, I'm gonna go to Europe, and like, and you and Amy are gonna be like, Europe. And then she's going to go, and it's going to be so amazing. If she goes to Europe, I'm like, oh, man, what I have is a particular set of skills, man. I can just, like my dad, that'll be on her shirt. My dad has a particular set of skills. Yeah. There she goes.
Like, in 17 years, she might be able to go to Mars.
Yeah,
you never even know.
That's wild.
They might figure that out.
Yeah.
They got billionaires in space now, man.
That actually leads me to a quick question.
Going to space and rockets shaped like dicks.
Yeah. Hold on, can you make this look any more like a dick? No? We got it? We got everything.
Nailed it.
Okay, let's get in this thing. I couldn't believe it.
Somebody was like, take off!
I honestly thought it was an onion thing. The first time I saw it, I was like, what? Onion's getting weird. Oh, this is true.
When it had the shape of the head on there, I was like, bro,
come on.
We getting punked as a planet, bro. Like,
I need to look at it. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh my god, it's funny.
Man, we got punked as a planet, right? You got all these flying saucers and all this shit, and then like the one motherfucker's
dicks in there.
Yeah.
Just dick in this.
Of course we did that.
I'll find out.
What was the next question? No, sorry.
My next question was, you have done a lot of traveling. Is there one place that holds the highest spot in your heart that you would love to go back to, or is it just the act of going?
I got two.
I have two, I think. I have two spots. Well, I think it's...
Like, I felt like the first one wasn't complete, so I need to, like, go back and do more in one particular place.
I studied abroad in college, and I went to South Africa. And that was, like, life-changing, because it actually changed, like, the trajectory of my life, of what I was actually going to do. I was at Grand Valley. I was going to, like, be a fucking doctor or some shit. I don't know. And I was, like, failing at all. You're about to show me this dick rocket right now.
I'm sorry, but look at that.
Oh, wow. It really does.
It really does. I mean,
but like, what is that the shape they have to be?
No.
We just keep making them like that.
Yeah. Well, dudes are making them.
That's right. I mean, yeah.
That's what it is.
That's the fucking problem.
Hey, bro, man, we gotta,
all y'all are just, do
it like this,
money.
bro.
Right. It has to look like this.
It's the only shape that works, bro.
I'm sorry.
What?
So anyways, life-changing experience. South Africa.
Yes.
I was there. I was studying abroad. And I went with our Women and Gender Studies department at Grand Valley, and just like, we taught at a school. We like I learned about so many fucking things. I learned about apartheid for the first time when I was like on my way there, and I was like, whoa, y'all, this is fucked up. Like 1992, like this was born.
Yeah.
But I went to Fatherville, and I didn't learn about that shit. And so that it was just like a truly transformative place. It was the first time I'd ever been anywhere like different all the way, culturally, everything, and had to like submerge myself and figure shit out. And so it was amazing. It was also the first time I really experienced like a wealth gap, like in real life. And just seeing like the stark differences between like the townships where we were like teaching and like the university, and just all, it was a lot. So I think that was my first one. And then on any time that Marcel and I like go camping, it's always just such like a good time. It's always like part of my favorite trips.
You enjoy camping.
We do. Okay. We enjoy camping. Yes.
It blows my mind when people say that.
I think for us, it's like the act of like just going out and being in the quiet is really amazing, because there's not a lot of times that we
camping.
have.
I like campers.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I don't mind a camper, but like I'll stay in the tent. I'll stay in the tent.
Go with you guys.
I'm too old to stay in the tent now, man. I think I was too old at 19 to stay in the tent.
You don't have like an air mattress?
Yeah, but still, it's not the same, fam. Like it's,
no.
Those, man, mosquitoes get through tents, fam. I don't know. They would be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the temperature. I don't know. Y'all also camp a lot. Like we camp like once, twice a summer. We're like, okay, that was good.
I like it. I love playing cards, right? And going camping, playing cards. And my nickname is fucking Autopilot. I love to drink. And when I get a chance to smoke marijuana and drink, and like I don't have a fucking bedtime and shit, man. Like let's fucking party,
having a good time. Yeah, bringing the drugs along on camping. We usually bring like mushrooms with us, and that's always a good time. Obviously, I'm gonna have weed with me, so like also always a good time. And just like not having to do shit. Like we're just like fuck around all day. Like let's just start a fire and sit here and like play Uno. For 7 hours.
Describe how much different of an experience it is for me. Something breaks in the camper. The kids are scraping their knees. Leslie's upset about something, usually, or they're making plans for Foster and I to go do something we don't want to do.
Damn, crazy. Y'all gotta come camp with us.
Yeah,
we just like
so
get there.
What he and I started doing now, we both drive up separately,
so we can leave whenever we want.
That works well though. That's how you gotta find that balance.
I was like. Noted.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, I gotta work late.
I'm really busy. I gotta go do the thing with the phone.
You guys just go ahead. I'll drive upstairs.
I'm like, hey, she's like, oh, what do you gotta do? I'm like, I gotta go.
Huh? Okay.
What? And Amy can't really hear, so I kind of get away with it.
He's like, yeah, I'll be up there. Like, when I'm up there, babe, I'll be up there.
Are you coming? I'm like, yeah. We just talked about this 12 minutes ago. I'll be up there, I promise.
On Saturday evening. We'll be out on Sunday.
Yeah. I know we got to leave Sunday morning, and I got something up Sunday morning. So I can't
for a few hours on Saturday, and then I got to go.
So my place, I would love to go back to Spain. There are so many more places in Spain that I want to visit. Man, just to like now knowing what I know about like the Moors, and
about the what? I don't know what that
the
means.
Moors. So the Moors were this African group of individuals that changed all of Spain. They got them out of the Dark Ages. They they taught them hygiene, all this shit. Everything as far as like the mosques that are there in Spain was influenced by this particular group of people. And then there were different kinds of Moors, right? There was like the very, very dark skin, as well as like some were considered Arabic.
Okay.
But what they don't talk about is like the same thing when they talk about Jesus. Like, yo, man, like, yo, the motherfucker had pigment to his skin, bro. He wasn't out here like, you know, like he was born in California or some shit.
It wasn't Val Kilmer.
Yeah, true that. It wasn't Val Kilmer. It wasn't Jim Caviezel. Nothing.
Yeah, Mel Gibson.
And so, you know, just learning that portion, like it just forever has instilled in me that history is written by the victors. And I hate that. You know what I'm saying? I understand underdog culture so much. And I just want to go back to Spain and see more, now knowing what I know, see all of that influence and just call that shit out. My favorite, or the two places that I went in Spain, it was Lloret de Mar, which is a huge party town, and then Barcelona, and you know, still a party town.
Yeah.
So I would love to visit more cities in Spain. And then my next place, Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
It's one of the prettiest places on the planet. Spanish moss. Everybody talks about like how the sunshine comes through the Spanish moss and it kind of looks like cobwebs. So we were talking about the camera.
Yeah.
And like the way the sun just hits, man, it's like you are living in a ghost town or heaven, or you just see all the
Jurassic
magic
Park.
that's just there, or Jurassic Park.
Yeah. That's what it
Wow.
reminds me of.
But then, you know, again, you have all this history that has been whitewashed, and I hate it. I hate the fact that Grand Rapids whitewashes a lot of shit. I hate that, you know, like Detroit, man, like, you know, my grandfather told me Detroit was like one of the prettiest places on the planet before the riots. And like, you know, like you still have like bad times, but like Detroit is like the remnants of fuck y'all, we leaving y'all behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, and you can see it in the city now, like even just walking through it. I mean, I was just down there, and it was Woodward, and we were walking down it, and I was like, holy fuck, that's Hopcat. Holy fuck, this is the same place that Hopcat was at? Like, it's just gentrified, like, no, and it's so fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
So fast, and just like the hipsters have divulged on it, and it's everywhere.
It's
remember
very
the
quick.
Matrix? You remember the Matrix? And he was like, humans are a virus.
Yeah.
And like all they do is go in and like take over an area. And like, like, man, like I hate
Go in and use up all the resources and move on to
right,
the next
and then
thing.
go to the next one.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we go to Mars. Then we'll have a lot more time. Can burn that planet up too.
Man, they out there gentrifying Jupiter, man.
Mm-hmm. Jupiter just ain't the same.
Used to be all rocky. So cold in the Jupiter. Let me see.
You and I got one, I think.
Okay.
Unless you
go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. You and Marcel, you just seem to have a very good, solid relationship. I don't know if that's an accurate statement or not, but what is there a secret to it? If you had to put on your "I'm giving advice to the world" pants.
Oh.
I guess what has worked for you guys, maybe?
What's worked for us has been lots of communication. I feel like and it's work. Like it's work. You got to put in the time. We were just talking about this. We used to like only talk when we were very drunk. Like we would get really drunk and like that's when we would just like air all our shit out. We would wake up the next morning like, wow, that was great. All right, cool.
In vino veritas, right?
Yeah.
We would just all of it. It would just be like because it was so much easier to talk, right? Because your inhibitions are gone. You're great to go.
Yeah.
And then we stopped drinking and we're like, oh, we still gotta talk to each other, huh? And so it's been a lot of trial and error. It's been a lot of this works well for us. It's been a lot of fucking compromise and in meeting the other person where they're at. And I feel like for me, it's taken a lot of like really learning what empathy means and learning about your partner, like just committing to always learning about them because they're always changing, right? Marcel is such a different person than when I first met him, like, thank God. Yeah. But also, like, he's an incredible person, but he has changed and evolved so much. And I think that one of the things that like I sort of forgot was like he's such a different person now that the things that I used to know or used to be true about him are no longer true. And so it's my responsibility, I think, to continue to learn about like the way that he likes to be communicated to now, because it's probably different than it was, a year ago, and just like trying to hear what he says, because I think that he says the same things to me a lot in terms of like what would be helpful if I did this, and just like really trying to like buckle down and listen to like, all right, let me try this. Let me like actually, if he's vocalizing a need, try to do it. And so it's been a lot of compromise, a lot of communication, a lot of just grace and trying to be, I don't know, he's a person. Like that's been a lot of it too. It's just like, I'm a person, you're a person. We're trying to get through this fucking shit.
Yeah.
And leaning on each other.
We just
right.
gotta figure it out.
Right. It's been, and I think, and our dogs help us too.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, so piggybacking off of that one, walk me through when Fable proposed to you. Like, you guys had talked about it prior to it happening, correct?
Yeah, like I'm pretty. Like, he knew I would say yes. Yes, it wasn't like we weren't unsure. I don't think. But we were picking up our I'm like
here comes a tear.
It's just so cute. It's so cute. So I love Christmas. It's my favorite time of year. I love like the Christmas tree and like decorating our whole house and like doing the whole thing. I'm like, Christmas music December 1st, like a bitch is ready. And so I've always ever since we started dating, I'm like, I want a real tree. It's like been my thing. Because we never had one. Well, I don't think we had them growing up. I think we had a fake tree. And I just loved the whole idea of like going to get it. I was like, this is adorable. Let's go do this. And so we always did it first time, either like the first time it snowed or like within 2 weeks in December. Because I was like, I can't wait that long. Like I need a deadline by when we'll go get this tree. And so we had went like, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years that we've been dating, and always the same tree farm. We would like truck out there. And when we first started dating, we could only get trees from like the very like poor section because we were very poor. So it was like the $30 tree that like all the fucking shit fell off when you put it on. It was like the shittiest tree. Right. But I was like so excited. He was under there like sawing it down with his fucking saw. And so that's what we would like do always on our Christmas tradition. So the year that we got engaged was 2018, I think. 2018, yeah. And so we always go to eat at Cherry Inn for our breakfast. So we went there. I was like I had no idea. He was acting totally normal, like not freaked out or nervous or anything.
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna go do this, and then we do this, and then we're done. I'm like, great, you got a whole day planned. He put it in my Google Calendar. I was like, love you. This is great. Thank you so much. So I knew exactly what we were doing.
Yep.
Besides, you created a monster when you got him like into the calendar and shit.
He loves it. It's the best thing I've ever done for the man.
Yeah. And now you know what I'm saying. Like I like Amy was like, you need to do a calendar. You need to do a calendar. And now I do the calendar, and I'm like, she's like, wait, that's not in the calendar. I'm like, motherfucker, it is. You're supposed to hit show, and then you can see my whole calendar. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
the Google Calendar is the best and the worst thing, but it's.
Yeah. I blame you for that.
Yeah, you should, because it was me. That was me. And so we went to the tree farm, and we were picking out a tree, and I was, doing my normal walk through and down and back and down, and like I thought I saw the corner of my eye someone like ducking behind a tree. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I'm like, oh, that was weird. And then we picked one, and Marcel had like set up the camera to like take a video of it, and he had a photographer there. And then I turned around, and then there was like a bulb. He had a bulb that said, he had this whole speech that I don't really remember. So I was just sobbing. I was like, sobbing. I was like, ah! And then he handed me this little bulb that was like, will you marry me? And it had a yes and a no. And I was like, clever.
Yeah.
And then we went back to one of my best friend's house. They threw like a surprise party for me. And I got really drunk, and it was a fucking great day.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was a beautiful time.
It was so great.
Yeah, man. That shit. So hit me with what's the funniest thing that Fable's ever done to make you laugh?
Sounds like you have a hard time narrowing it down.
Oh man. He makes me laugh a lot. Like, I don't know how I can't pick the funniest thing, but I'm gonna pick something today that made me laugh so hard. Okay. And it's just because like you guys know Marcel. He's like such a serious person most of the time. Like he has shit that he needs to get done, and it is the most important thing to get done when he needs to get it done.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what time it is, doesn't matter what the fuck it is. It's like he's got to get this done right.
And then it's followed by 13 more.
Yeah.
That has to be done in a matter of 22 minutes.
And he always does it. Like, the man is fucking productive. He's great.
Magical.
He gets so much shit done, but that's just how his brain works. Like, if he's thinking about it, he's got to do it. And so it was like 8 this morning, and I had like convinced him to not go into work at 7. I was like, let's watch the show we were watching. And so we like finished the show, and he's like talking to this painter guy, trying to tell him his email. And he's like phonetically spelling out Fable. He's like F as in blah, A as in the, and he goes L as in Lima. And I like lost it in the bedroom. Because first of all, it's Fable. So I'm like, it's like a story. Just say that. You don't just pull it all out.
Everybody knows how to spell Fable.
He said Lima and like hung up the phone. I was like, nigga, did you just say Lima? He was like, what? Yes. And I'm like, what the fuck is a Lima? What is that? What does that
That's
mean?
the capital of Peru.
Yeah. And it was so, and like, I feel like that's mostly how he's making me crack up, is like me bringing him out of his like super fucking serious shit. I'm like, bro, that's not that serious. And that's usually what has me cracking up. He also will sometimes, like, he's gonna hate me for saying this, but like he'll laugh so hard that he'll like fart sometimes, and that shit cracks me up every time, because then he tries to hide it, and I'm just like, did you just do that? So I would say those. It's like him being really serious, and like me catching him off guard, and like the silliness that comes out after, because sometimes he needs to be snatched down from that serious place that he's sitting.
I say CBD, come back down, bro. That's what CBD says. Come back down.
Oh yes.
So this is a serious question. Okay. And hopefully this is years down the line, but what do you want me to tell him after you're gone? What do you want me to remind him of? Or like, yo, man, remember this?
I want you to remind him that he is truly an incredible person, and that he has people in his life who love him a lot and will do anything for him. He gets in his head a lot and thinks he's alone a lot. And I know that's not true. I know we have such an incredible community of people and friends and family who would drop anything for us. But I think that's it. And just reminding him that he's loved, and making him like, hey, come over here. Like, I'm going to come get you. Come over. because he does this thing where he's
He'll stay in the house.
Sad boy time.
Yep. If I let him, he would stay in the house.
He would stay in the house.
Yeah.
He would stay in the house.
And it didn't used to always be that way, but I understand how it came about, though.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to expect different results, you have to change. So,
yeah.
And he is definitely a human being that has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years, and now he's just. I'm just kidding.
So
10 years
I've
you
been
change.
friends
Honestly.
since about 2009.
Yeah, I would say it's like he's been a 10-year, because that's how long he's been growing his hair. That's what he told me.
I might have to write a book.
10 years.
10 years.
All that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whole new person every 10 years.
And I love it. I love it for him. He's such an incredible person. He's really blossomed into good job me, because does a lot of it.
Yeah,
but he's done a lot
in the
of
garden.
it. He's done a lot of it. He's done. I'm gonna give him it. He's done. But at the beginning, that was me. I was really in there with the hoe, hoeing it out.
There's a lot of potential. Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
And there were some roots. Oh, they were deep. But we got them.
What do you think was? When did you know that he had changed? Like, completely, you're like, bro, like, you are a different magical motherfucker. Like, he was always, like, a little bit of magic, but now he just he shoots that shit out of him. Like, he's like, man, we can figure it out. And, like, he turns anything from nothing.
He truly can.
Man.
I think that it's like, I think he does things all the time that remind me that he's changed. One of the biggest things was him not drinking. When he stopped drinking, he changed into such a different, like, it was that sort of I was talking about earlier, when you're like meeting your partner where they're at. It was such a different person that I was like interacting with and talking with and living with when he stopped drinking. I think that was a big one.
Do you think he became happier after that? I'm asking for myself. I'm thinking about quitting drinking.
I wouldn't say right away. No, I think it was really hard. Okay. I mean, his whole, like, everything around him was built around nightlife and being out and drinking. And so he had to change that. And I think that was really hard. Yeah. And also he stopped smoking first and then he stopped drinking. And so I would say that, and the stopping smoking thing was huge. Yeah. And
that was his favorite thing to do.
Yeah,
okay.
it's
yeah. You were saying he's just chain smoked.
Oh, I mean, yeah, smoking was. I think it was his escape in anything, like any situation he didn't want to be in. He's like, I can go outside and smoke a cigarette, and like also drinking and smoking a cigarette. Like, who the fuck doesn't love that? It's a great time. So, I would say that, but like the stopping drinking was a huge one, and just recently his like ability to just be. And like I tell him this all the time, he's so honest that sometimes I'm like, Jesus Christ, maybe a little bit less of that. Like, tone that down a little bit. But he's really, really honest in things. And it's really inspiring to me because he's not scared of it to be just like 100%. Like, this is what I got, so I don't really know what else. Yeah. And that's really inspiring to me, is just to be like, all right, let me just like, if I just had a little ounce of that, because I could never have all of the gall that he has to just lay it out there at all times.
Everybody always tries to, and I call people out on that shit now. I'm like, fam, do me a favor, don't police me. Don't tell me to be kind when I need to be kind, or like when I don't need to be kind. Like sometimes, man, the fucking high road is taken, man.
Yeah.
Like, man, let me one time, man.
Then I be down there too. I'm like, I'm just gonna be an asshole right now because I want to be and I can be. Because everyone else is an asshole. So let me go ahead and do it.
Let me fight fire with fire.
A little bit of this from you guys.
Let me fight fire with fire.
Let me.
One time, man.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. I'm in a heartbeat. I would tell somebody, man, do me a favor. Don't fucking police me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm over that shit, man. What you got?
You've been taking care of yourself for a pretty long time. You're doing a pretty good job.
All right, look at me go.
Man, I just got a human to one, bro.
Yeah.
You sure did.
I got this, bro.
Let's see. Is there anything you've learned later in life that you wish you knew when you were younger? Is there anything now times Nika could tell Fowler time Nika that might help her through?
Oh, I think
high school ain't it.
Yeah, right. High school is not it. And like, it gets better. I feel like it's so cliche of just like, you find your people though, and it's like, once you find your people, life is so much easier. And like the people don't have to like be the same. They can change. They also don't have to be like your family. They don't. You can pick and choose those fucking people you want in your life, and like that's okay. That's something I don't know that I would have listened, but I think that that's something that I would tell myself when I was younger. And also like, fuck a plan, bro. I wouldn't have listened because I'm a planner, so it doesn't matter. I could have told myself that 700 times, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? And then look at me now.
That's very insightful to think that you wouldn't listen to yourself.
No, because I'm a planner. Like people will tell me all the time, like, I want to see what happens in life. I'm like, I gotta plan for this shit. I know what's gonna happen.
And
I don't.
So right now, Amy and I are in a phase where, like, if she asks me, I'm just like, I tell her everything now, so she'll stop asking me. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing. This is who we're doing it with. You're gonna go do all this, and she's like, where's the surprise? I'm like, motherfucker, you don't like to be surprised. Like, I tried doing it, and every single time you ask me a million questions. You don't like to be surprised. So now I'm just laid out, and you're like, why'd you tell me that? Nope. I'm just going. I'm gonna do it until you finally are like, fucking don't tell me. And then I'm like, I fucking won.
Yeah.
Beat the game.
That's how y'all are, though. You got to go all or nothing. I feel like with Amy, I just want like a little bit more information. Like, what else is going on? And you, I feel like guys are just like, you either get all the information or fucking none of it.
Yeah, either it's a surprise, either it's a total surprise or you know too much.
No, I got enough surprises in my life. I'm good being surprised. Man, y'all better tell me what's going on.
I know I can't surprise Leslie. I'll be like, don't plan anything for next week at 8 o'clock on a Thursday. She'll be like, why? What are we gonna do?
That's exactly it. And
that's women.
Then Leslie will start fishing. She's like, you guys know of anything? And she'll text both of us. Like, you guys know of anything that's going on? Is Nate playing anything?
Yeah,
like,
or she'll go, if it's a surprise, I need to know what to wear.
Yeah.
Which always will throw a wrench into it. And I'm just like, wear, I don't know, sports clothes. And then we're going to a fancy restaurant.
That's here. You just get out. You're like, you got sports clothes on.
I'm going out, and then I'm gonna go into the bathroom with a bag, and I'm gonna change my clothes. I'm like, man, surprise!
They're never gonna trust y'all. They're always gonna bring a bag with them. Like, you gotta be prepared.
That's a good idea.
But that like, I need to know what to wear thing is real. It's real for women.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, I watch her.
Yeah.
She struggles. She'll go in. She'll come out. How's this look? I'm like, great. Every time it's great. I don't know why she even asked me anymore.
Looks great.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's a good one.
They're gonna get super fancy, and then we go to like Burger King.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get some pies. And
put
a candle in there.
Hershey's
like,
pies.
What is it? Like, it's halfway to your birthday.
Listen, don't sleep on Hershey's pies.
Oh, that's my favorite.
You know, they're my favorite. They're so good.
I just realized we didn't talk about your siblings. How many siblings do you actually have?
I have 2 siblings from my mom's side, Maddie and Shane. And then I have
Wait, who was Shane? I don't think I've ever met Shane.
You probably have it. Shane is my brother. He is 20. How old am I? 29. He's 20. He'll be 25 in January.
January what?
16th.
Okay.
He's great. He is on the spectrum, and so he's very funny. He's very honest. He's
he went Penny Green yet?
Yes. Yeah. Who, when I met her, was just like, "Hi, my mom's bald too, so you're not the only bald woman." I was like, "Thank you, girl. I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you."
She got me out of my funk the other day, or a couple weeks ago. Like, I was in a funk, and she was like, "Yo, Foster, I just want you to know, man, you don't have to be a superhero or the most popular person to make a difference in the world." And I was just like,
well, okay then, Penny. What the fuck?
Thanks, man.
Like, when she was at the poetry show, she was just like, "It's okay to be sad." Everyone in the crowd was just like, oh, "You're right. It is okay to be sad."
I've been waiting for someone to tell me.
Everyone's sobbing. It was like all the adults have just like held on to this fucking shit.
Her she got her pen name now. It's Poetry Penny.
Mm-hmm.
She's out there. She's doing it. I can't wait until she runs for president. That's one of the things she said she wanted to do. She had this whole platform she's going to run on, and it was perfect.
I'll tell you what. I guess I would just let anybody be president these days.
She could actually do it, though.
Yeah. Good job. Sounds like she'll be honest.
So yeah, Shane he's 20. He just got his first job out of college. We're so excited.
What did he go to school for?
He went to school for video game design.
Perfect.
Yeah, great. He's so good at it. He's so smart. And he's working like in the government doing like something with I don't know, security.
Video games?
No, like something with like computer. It's more like computer sciencey.
All right.
Which is so great for him. He like loves to schedule computer video games. Yeah, who knows? I'm sure at some point he won't be able to tell me about what he does, and he won't. He's like that kind of person where he would never leak a secret. Yeah. So I'm just like irritating. And then my little sister, one of my little sisters, Maddie, is a lovely hot mess. Love her to death, but Lord have mercy. She's 20. She'll be 20. She'll be 21 in October, or she'll be 20 in, I don't know. The girl's got a fake. She's wild. She's just out here living her life. She's kind of stoner. She is just trying to have a fun time, and I can't be mad at her for it. She's like, she's young. She's like, I think I'm gonna do this. I'm like, that sounds like a fun time, girl. Go live your life.
That sounds great.
She reminds me of Sam every time I talk to her.
Yeah, she's just floating. She'll figure it out.
Just free.
Yeah.
Just
She'll figure it out. And then on my dad's side, I have an older sister. Well, we don't have the same parents, but still sister, named Brittany. She's like a year or two older than me. And then I have my younger sister, Simone. My younger brother sure is, EJ. And then my other younger sister, Annika.
So how many is that total?
That's 6.
I got 6, yeah.
6, yeah, that's 6. Okay. So my parents are, I was the only one that they had, and then they both separated off and had some more children.
Are you closer with your mom?
I grew up with my mom's. Yeah, I grew up in my mom's house. So I'm closer with my siblings there. But as we all gotten older, we've all sort of like gotten closer, especially on my dad's side. We try to be a little more intentional about like spending time together, the cousins and the siblings and all of that. Yeah, because we've all. My dad is, he did the best. He did the best that he could with what he had. So he's not top tier dad, but we're all right. We're all figuring it out. I don't know. Like he does the best he can. What are we supposed to do about it?
Amy and I recently started saying this thing like, bro, that is the most okayest thing you could ever do.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just okay. He's just okay, and sometimes he wasn't okay. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know.
But that's the most okayest
that's
thing.
That's okay. You are right. You are right. So, yeah, that's my siblings. They're all great and resilient ass people.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What you got?
Was there anyone? Fatherville sounds like an awful place for you to grow up, especially. Mm-hmm. Was there anybody that helped you navigate that?
I definitely had a great group of like best friends who I'm still best friends with to this day. So Sam, Amber, Kate. We've been best friends for a while, but I would say that for me, it like my mom has always been great. I was very like, I didn't talk about it. I was like, I'm here to like go to school and like this is how I gotta like code switch and survive, and I was in like survival mode. So I didn't tell people what was happening to me. I was never like vocal about like the racism I was experiencing and like all the racism that I'm sure I didn't even realize I was experiencing, that I'm sure it's just trauma shoved down somewhere. Yeah. That one day I'll maybe erect.
It somehow got normalized.
But yeah, it was like I didn't talk about it. So no one like would, if you were to look at me in high school, you wouldn't think like, wow, she's going through a fucked up time. You're like, oh, she's having a great time. Like she's playing sports. I was like with popular kids. Like I won prom queen.
Okay.
So like it was never like
nice.
Midwinter court.
Midwinter court. And so like it was never something that I was like actively talking about. But now that I've gotten out of it, what I've realized all I needed from like the people in my life was just to tell me like, yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's all I've like ever really wanted was people just be like, yeah, that was fucked up, and like that's brought me so much like relief and like being able to put some of that behind me of just people around me being like, wow. Ooh. But they never knew because I never said anything.
Yeah, that's like, it reminds me, I listen to Leslie all the time talk about just child abuse like in families and stuff. But the kids will just, it's happening to them every single day. Mm-hmm. So it is normal, and it gets so normalized that it becomes your life, and then
hurt people.
Yeah, and then you're like, later in life you start to think about it and you see how other people are, and you're like,
or you just tell normal stuff and you're like, wait, what? That was weird. Okay, that wasn't normal, right? No. Okay, great, cool.
Yeah, so like everything you're saying, like I realized about my family. I'm like, yo, man, like we had it really, really good, and then my father got sick, and then everything changed. So like from the moment that we got to the hospital to pick up my dad, he was misdiagnosed. And then years later, it was like, oh man, like he didn't have cerebral palsy, he had a stroke. And then all of a sudden, you had all these doctors and shit. Now they're learning about stroke, and they turned my father into a fucking guinea pig. And so like, yeah, man, like going into the hospital every single day for 90 days with Josie, traumatizing for me.
Fuck yeah.
And man, shit is still hard to like just think about it. And then her being a black woman, woman of color, and like, man, like what black women have to go through, man, like that shit is fucking hard to digest. So man,
hospitals are a wild place. I remember when I was first diagnosed, it was like, it was like just a thing that you did, right? You just like were going through it. Like, okay, this is what you got to do. And that when you got to go to the hospital every day, that's just what you do. You're just like put on the shit and just fucking go and get it over with. Yep. But after I was diagnosed and sort of like in that period where I wasn't having to go to the hospital a lot, whenever I would go, it was like I would have to like take the day off work. I would like have to just like really get mentally prepared because it was such like a traumatic experience and just such a sad fucking place for me to have to go back to. And now having to go back again, it's just like having to walk into even when my like the cancer and hematologist center calls me, I'm just like, and like not like those little things all add up. Like every time you tense up when you walk into a door, like all of that shit stays in your body. And so, hospitals they're hard. They're really hard, especially when sad shit happens at them. Because a lot of the time it's a lot of sad shit.
Man, I think Patch Adams had it right. You ever watch that movie, Patch Adams? It's Robin Williams. I think it's one of his best movies prior to him dying.
Okay.
What Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
And fucking Patch Adams. If you ever get a chance, put those on the list.
All right, Patch Adams on there.
I only have one thing about your diagnosis. Though.
Okay.
Is there anything positive that came out of it, or is it just a layer of shit on top of a layer of shit on top of a layer of shit? Is there any clarity that comes with it, or anything?
I think I'm still trying to figure it out. I think something that Marcel said to me that has stuck with me is like, I don't think I've fully wrapped my head around it. I don't think that and I don't know that I ever will.
Want to?
Right. I don't know, because I think when I get there, that sounds like a sad place to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Marcel, we were talking about it, and he was like, you think that when someone says to you, like, okay, you have a year to live, or you have 3 years left to live, what do you want to do? Like, you think that you would have your answer. You'd be like, I'm going to travel, I'm going to do this, I'm going to blah, 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 blah. And then it happens to you, and you're like,
I'm not prepared for this.
I don't know if fuck I'm going to, what do you mean? I'm going to probably work tomorrow, and then the next day work again, and then then it's the weekend, and then what the fuck? And so I feel like what's happened for me and for us and our family has been a lot of like really trying to be fucking present, because like that's really, and I think is a key for a lot of us. Like that's really all you can control is what the fuck's in front of you. Like no one actually has any fucking idea what we're doing. Like everyone is making it up. No one has any fucking control over this shit. Like everyone is making shit up every goddamn day. And I think
that's a made up word. Right. They all are.
Everything is made up. Like we're just making it all
fall down manholes all day.
Trying not to. And like some people are. And some people are down there like, fuck, I fell down there.
Oh my god, I screwed up.
How'd I get down here? And so I think that's been it. And it's been a lot of like, you know, it's terrible, right? It fucking sucks. It's really shitty, but it's also made me like be really honest with that. Like, how are you? Like, shitty. Like, this is terrible. But like sometimes I laugh. Most of the time I'm high. So like, I'm figuring it out. I'm trying.
Do you have a Ratchet bucket list?
I should make a Ratchet bucket list.
I'll do some of that shit with you, man. Like
you would be the one
for sure, man. Like nobody else would try 1,000 milligram edible with me, and you were like, "Fucking, let's just."
I'm
try.
Like, what are we gonna do? Let's just sit on the couch.
So
see what happens.
Let me tell this story, man. So I'm like, "Yo, fam, I got 1,000 milligram edible," and she's like, "It's gonna hurt." I was like, "Yes, right." I got this whole chocolate bar. I'm not gonna eat the whole thing, but I'm definitely gonna try it. So we both break off a pretty hefty size. It was probably more than 100 in each bite.
Well, don't go into it hungry.
Hey, you know what? Half hour in, and like all of a sudden, I'm like, "Yo, it hasn't hit me yet, but I feel gravity is coming." Right? The entire room felt heavy. Like the thing about edibles, right, is like all of a sudden there are key signs that it's kicking in. One, you notice that you're not as breathing as regularly as you were before, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden your chest is just like.
Okay. You're like listening to yourself. You're like, wait, is that louder?
You're like, fucking inhale. Inhale.
You got to.
And then all of a sudden you're like, so it's like you're breathing them like every other minute, right? for this. Notice that night, and then like they asked me a story, and then I tell a story, and like all of a sudden I have this total recall, and I'm giving you all the details, and they are just dying laughing, and I'm like, I was like, man, I'm gonna have the half-hour mark. I think this one is gonna take about an hour before it kicks in, like for real, right?
Yeah.
We go outside, there are cops everywhere, and like I had the keys in my hand. I'm like, I'm not gonna drive. He was like, I'm gonna let you drive. I was like, great. So I hop in the passenger side, and all of a sudden these fucking sirens are going, and I'm like, yo, it just kicked in, right?
Yeah.
So this ride home, which is probably about 8 minutes, took about 32 in my head. I get home, and I'm just chilling. She's like, how you feeling? I'm like, I need some Burger King, man.
I know we just got home, but I need some Burger King right now.
So she took me, and then I ate that,
nice.
and then I'm kicking it on the couch after I got done eating. And next thing I know, I just fucking started laughing
That's
hysterically.
the best. I love when that happens.
Nonstop. I'm in tears. I am laughing. She just looks over and she's like, oh, you really feeling it? And I'm like, fam, I don't know what's happening. And I just laugh nonstop. I'm texting her. I'm like, hey, how was your journey? Right? No response.
What were you doing?
I was probably honestly chilling or fell asleep.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm high, it's usually just me because like Marcel doesn't really partake anymore, and so I'm just like, or like we'll be going somewhere and I'll hit the bed before we get in the car, and then I'm just sitting there like, what's wrong? I'm like.
Absolutely
That's my
nothing.
bad. I did it too much. That's my bad.
Man, I love smiling
I
and
wasn't paying
laughing.
attention.
Yes.
And definitely, like, edibles, like, people are talking to me, like, I can't handle it. I'm like, you just don't know how to fucking chill.
That's it. You just gotta
Yeah.
chill out. Like you gotta have to realize that like maybe that's just a life thing. Like you just gotta be like, I have no control over this. I'm just gonna see what
You gotta be
happens.
okay
That's why I
with
can't
yourself.
take it.
Right. Like what's gonna happen? Yeah. I mean,
That's
if
why I can't do
if
it.
you like,
I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get the mail tomorrow.
fuck it, hey, it's gonna come tomorrow and I have to pick it up.
God, who
It's
is
a trash
this?
day, is it? No? Okay.
He's
Well,
wearing long
it's-
pants and walking. It's so hot out.
I know.
You have shorts in that uniform, too.
Oh my god, that's because that's how it works for some people. Some
Yeah,
people get
I get
so anxious they just can't
so
deal.
anxious.
And that's Marcel. He just is like, I can't. Like I just get so, and I'm just like,
Yep.
bro, just chill
I
out. It
get
don't
so
matter.
worked
Who
up
cares about
that I
that?
have to sleep. Like last time I took mushrooms, I had to sleep. Leslie's like, man, I think they're kicking in. I'm like, yep, I'll be
Right back.
And
Obviously.
I couldn't even say it, and I just went and slept for like 8 hours.
Let me tell you about this man. And he's like, hey, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. As soon as he says that, I'm like, since the first time he did that, right?
Yeah.
The first time he did that, he apologized to me for slavery.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna just go use the bathroom. And it's like, bro, I just want you to know before I go, man, I'm so sorry about slavery. And
I
it's like, I'll be right
forget
back.
what you were talking
like-
about, but I honestly do feel really bad about slavery. And I'm like, I don't know what else I can do, but apologize to him for it. And then I'm like, I feel like I made a faux pas of some kind. Time to go to sleep.
He was like, hey, man, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. The following morning, I wake up. I'm like, hey, man, you remember what happened last night? He's like, nah, man, I just went to the bathroom and went to bed.
You're like slavery. Remember that? You apologize.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh, I
you.
remember.
He was like, I did do that.
That's called the Irish goodbye, and I perfected it.
One of my
Thanks to
best
Uber.
friends does that exact
Yeah.
thing. And Marcel is actually pretty good at it too, but my friend Kate is the best at it. She like,
Yeah.
I feel like I just see her like stand up and then she looks around like, this bitch is out. She ain't even gonna say bye to me. Cause she just like looks and then it's like,
Sometimes take-
and then
Yeah.
it's gone. And I'm just like,
Saying
wow.
bye takes a long time
Yeah.
sometimes. When
You don't gotta
really
do
wanna-
it.
Yeah.
That's
you
a
don't
that's
have
a light. You don't have. That's something that more people should realize. You don't have to say at
You
a
don't
party.
have to.
You don't have to say bye to everyone.
No, it takes
okay.
too long.
It's okay. Just
It
leave.
really...
It does.
I'm like,
Because then you
I'm
got
too
like,
drunk
especially
to
in the
do this.
fucking Midwest, like people are like bye,
Yeah.
just
They're
like,
hugging
just-
and then they're getting out their calendars to
Right.
meet up for the next one. I'm like, I
got their
just-
Google calendars out.
So one thing that I've
Drunk for
noticed
this.
about people from the Midwest versus anywhere else, they always say whenever somebody, they don't say hello, they say, how you doing? And if you answer that bitch, that gives them permission to start a whole fucking conversation with you.
It
If
doesn't
you-
matter who it is.
Yeah. If you answer that, all of a sudden the person from the Midwest is like, what conversation?
I love it.
Yes.
I love it here. Let's talk.
Even if you say pretty good, that's the lead in. And they're like, oh, pretty good. So what's wrong then?
So what's going on?
Yeah, is
Tell me
there
more.
anything I can do to help you out? You need a shovel?
You need me to help you get your car out of the driveway?
Yeah. I'm a little worried about these running out of memory.
Okay.
So I would like to turn them off. Is there anything else you would like to talk about? You got any more?
Do you have any questions for us? What's something you want me to tell Amy? It's like I love y'all relationship and like how close you guys have gotten and like.
Amy's such a real one.
Yeah, she's fun.
She's a good fucking time. This bitch is. I love an organized woman, and Amy is to a T. And Amy is one of those people that like when you leave their presence, you're just like full of joy
every time.
Like
I feel lighter.
And and like that's something that I've realized about her as a friend that I like will seek out. I'm like, I need to go hang out with Amy today because like I just need like some joy in my life, and I know she's got some crazy stories for me, and I know she's gonna talk the whole time, and I can't wait.
She has so many stories. If you get her going, and all of a sudden you're like you done lived like 38 different lives.
Yeah,
she has
all at the same time,
man.
But I think what I would tell Amy, or what I would like you to tell Amy, is make sure she takes some time for herself. Yeah.
I try to tell her that all the time.
Yeah. Like, go get her haircut. Go get a haircut, Amy.
Yeah.
Go get a haircut. Go get you some different clothes. Man. Go change.
She loves to, like, you know, she is the most thoughtful person, right? Like, she'll go shopping, and like what I do, even if I don't like it, I'll wear it at least once, and then she's like, "Oh, I got great taste." Don't I? I'm like, I don't have the heart to be like, "Man, I just want you to just see me wearing it." Like, I'll buy her stuff, and then she'll just be like, "Oh, where's the gift receipt?"
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Marcel did that. Told me one time that he didn't like something I bought him, and never again. I'll be at the store and be like, "Do you like this purchase before I make it?" Because I was traumatized.
Yeah.
As soon as he told me he didn't like it, I was like, well, you hate everything about me, so there's that.
I can't think of a gift I've given Leslie that she hasn't returned.
That's okay. It's also okay. Like, if you're not great at it.
The first couple times I was like, what the hell? Like, it's a gift. But then I was like, well, if she's never going to wear it, I think it was clothes both times, too.
Marcel is great at picking out clothes for me. Like, he's very fashionable. And so, like, I know he's going to give me some good shit. He gives good presents, so like he also I'm very clear about what I would like. And so then
he does give some good.
He delivers on what I said I wanted. I'm like, thank you. You listen great.
Yeah, I just get Leslie this really skimpy clothes. I gotta quit doing that. I don't even remember what it was. I feel like it was a hoodie. She's like, "Is there a receipt with this?" I'm like,
that's true love, though.
Fine. Yeah.
Being able to be like, I don't fucking like this. Don't make me wear this.
I'm not gonna wear it.
She
steals all my hoodies.
From now on, like from the first Christmas, like she still has gifts from the first Christmas that we spent together, like brand new dope ass boots, and then she was like, "Oh no,
not for me." I mean, they're very picky. Very picky.
The funniest thing was, all of a sudden, I seen her niece Taryn, and all of a sudden, Taryn had all the clothes and shit that I had bought.
Yeah.
And Taryn's just out there rocking it, and I'm like, man, that shit is. I fucking got that for Amy.
Yeah.
But Amy's gonna tell you, she's like, I ain't gonna wear this, Foster.
Oh no, she won't. She was just like, she told me no. She just had it, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you never wore that. And then she'll tell me. But Amy thinks the one thing about my beautiful partner is that she's like, I have I have this amazing taste, and I'm like. Sometimes I'm just like, really? So that party, the last time you drank, and then like all of a sudden, like
that fucking fedora.
You were like, Amy, you gotta get rid of that hat, and I was like,
thank you.
Yes.
I was like, it's gotta go, girl. Man, fedoras are done.
She was like, is it that bad? And then like everybody was like this.
Yes.
Slow. Like, Jack Nicholson in that movie with Adam Sandler, and he was like, yes.
Mm-hmm. It is, girl. It has to go in the trash can.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a long time, that fedora.
Oh, it
probably got, I'm sure we clowned it that day. Yeah. And if I was drunk, I'd know I talked about it at least 10 or 12 times. I did not let it go.
It got donated.
You were doing her a favor.
I was.
Man. You really were.
I was.
So, but man, I truly, truly appreciate y'all. I know Nate does as well.
Thank you. That was just so fun.
I'm sorry that I was the only one crying.
I was crying on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate you.
You know I got that hard exterior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody says that, man.
It's like a wall.
Yeah. What do you have for me? What's something that you want me to remember?
I was like, I have a Hershey pie for you.
I know. Hell yeah, fuck it. Pull out these pies. Pull these pies out on camera, man. You gotta do that. That'd be dope. That's a great
ice cream? I've never had one.
You've never had a Hershey's fucking pie?
No.
Oh, he's from Fremont.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's from Gerber, Michigan.
Yeah,
What?
we have a Burger King.
Well, welcome.
You guys had a BK? No, we had an NO, bro.
Oh, man.
This is a great ending. I like that.
This is a great ending. Because this is one of my also favorite things about you. Is that I know that you love Hershey's pies, and so do I.
Fam.
That crust on the end. Oh.
Hershey's pies and Reese's peanut butter cups. Those are my motherfucking life jams right there.
That's how I know you're coming over. That's how I know you've been over.
This looks good. This looks fancy.
Thank you. What would I have for you, boss? I think to keep believing in yourself.
Thank you.
Because you are such an incredible person and friend and someone that I know if I needed anything. I don't know who I was talking to, but I was like, if I needed to like drive, I needed to ride somewhere, no matter where it was at. Boss, I got to go to California tomorrow. Be like, let's go.
Hey, we get there fast as fuck.
I know. And just believing in yourself the same way that you believe in everyone else around you. Because you're dope.
I appreciate that. Cheers.
I would like to second that.
How is it?
So good. It's like gourmet.